I feel like I'd be a great wife and a great mom. Like, I really feel confident. Like, I feel like when my husband finds me, it's gonna be like, yes, I love my wife. Because I'm now that woman that I'm proud to become. Like, you know, not behind closed doors, but in front of doors, outside. Like, I'm just really that girl with God's eyes, not from human, you know?
Gotcha.
So it took time for me to become this woman, and I'm proud of her.
All right, welcome to the Rich and Unemployed podcast, Uncut. I'm your host, Jonathan Duperton, a.k.a. Finesse. And before we get started, make sure you guys check out the Patreon. Make sure you guys check out the website for the merch, www.richunemployed.net. And definitely the headscarf is going to be available by the time this episode comes out, so make sure you guys go ahead and cop one. I have a beautiful, beautiful chocolate woman sitting beside me. And introduce yourself.
Hey, you guys, I'm Nathalie Nicole Smith, and I'm excited to be here.
You seem very confident. Like, your presence is very confident.
Thank you.
Like, are you confident?
I am confident. I used to be confident aesthetically for a long time, and then just after going through life, I really built my confidence within. So now I can show up as a true confident woman.
Damn. When you say you was aesthetically, like, on the outside, you knew that you were bad. Like, you look good. And then what, internally, you were just struggling?
So for a long time, I believe I used my appearance and my aesthetics to get jobs, to get opportunities. I did bottle service for like 10 years, all through college. So I went to Howard University, did bottle service, and then I got into the beauty industry. So you have to look a certain way to attract clients. And I realized that that was really surface, you know? I was able to make a lot of money, you know, for a lot of years. And then I hit a hard point in my life in 2020. And that's when my life changed. I realized that all that outer confidence, like, I had to build up my inner, my spirit man. And that's when God really transformed, like, my internal. So just being able to really feel good inside matters to me. No matter what I look like with makeup, without makeup, a filter, without filter, I feel really good about myself.
I seen a post that I think you were overweight.
Yes.
How long ago was that?
That was like 9 months ago.
So you wasn't overweight your whole life?
No, so when I was like in 5th grade, I was always kind of like chunky, thick girl. Then I was thinner. Well, like, I always had a nice shape. My mom was Trinidadian Guyanese. I've always had a decent shape for a very long time. In 2020, I got robbed at gunpoint, and that really changed my life. I literally just let myself go. I gained 50 pounds. I've never seen myself overweight. So even though I really cared about my weight for many years, that was the first time I ever saw myself as like a thick girl, you know? So it messed with me mentally, because in my lane of work, I sell health and wellness products. I sell looks, you know, for a living. So with the social bullying, the body shaming, body dysmorphia, there was so much that really allowed me to understand that my health is my wealth, and I can't just show up and chase money. So I was overweight. I was 205 pounds, and I decided to not do any surgery and just really lose weight naturally.
What made you, you were stressed out?
You know, like, imagine hitting the highest point of your life and making a lot of money. You know, we pray and we ask God for success, right? And then when you get the success, you think life is going to be a walk in the park. So mind you, I was hustling all my life, bottle service, doing hair, selling hair. And then my first year, I made 7 figures. I didn't make 1, I made 4, you know? So that was very, like, impactful in my life. And honestly, I didn't know how to handle it. So even when it comes down to investing and spending my money wisely, I kind of did the typical thing and bought a lot of materialistic things. Although I saved a lot of money, I still fell into the materialistic space, you know? And at that point, I became ungrounded. And I think I needed that, though. I think that I have an anointing to make money. I've always made money all my life, but God needed to trust me. So he knew that my looks meant a lot to me too, though. So me being stripped from that physical appearance and going through that, I was able to get grounded and like really understand like who I was as a woman, and understand like I gotta move in a spirit of excellence, a spirit of love, and a spirit of grace. And I had to stop leading with money, you know? So I believe that in that space of my life, a lot changed for me, and I became a better woman for not just for me, for other women that look at me online, that want to be successful, that think that buying a bag is going to make you successful. You know, it's so much deeper than that.
So it had nothing to do with the robbery.
I'm sorry?
It had nothing to do with the robbery.
The robbery was the trigger for me. I don't think nothing would have got my attention. Nothing. That was just like, because I've been fearless for a long time. So getting robbed was like, whoa, you know? It was like, I remember on my knees, the gun to my head, I said, God, if you save my life right now, I promise I'll make your name great. I will never forget that moment, like on the ground, and literally got up, I saw a bunch of white, and I was like, all right, this is
white.
I don't know. It was just like, I didn't black out. It was like I whited it out. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like I went to heaven because, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be all crazy and deep, but I just saw like white, like I'm alive, you know? So it took me 9 months to really realize that I got robbed and that I went through something. Then I decided to get therapy. Got therapy. I'm still in therapy right now. Not for the robbery now. I'm in therapy just like, it's good. Like talking to somebody that's not biased, like about life, you know, like I'm not a mom yet. I'm not a wife yet. And I feel good about it. You know, I think that the world rushes you like to do all these different things, and being able to know that I'm at the right place at the right time, it feels good. So talking to a therapist and like being able to confide in him about life and my moves versus confiding in a person, it's a healthy way for me to grow right now.
You said you're happy that you're not, I'm pretty sure you're not happy that you're not a wife and you don't have kids yet, but you're just in a happy place in your life. Like you're not, how old are you?
I'm 35.
You don't feel like the clock is ticking? Not saying the clock is ticking.
I'm like, so just to keep it a buck, like I'm really healthy and I've taken care of myself for a very long time. When I worked in the club, like I don't drink. When I worked in the club, I think that saved me a lot too. I got to see a lot, like firsthand, you know? So even when it comes down to relationships, I've always like really been in relationships for years. And I take care of myself, you know? So that's one thing. The second thing is I believe that there is no time that's more perfect than right now for me. Before then, I would have been no good to somebody's son. Like, I feel like, you know, like I have a dad, he loves me a lot. And he raised me from a distance, you know, but I'm his only child. So I learned a lot about like what I desire in life. And I feel like I had to grow as a woman to show up as a wife and show up as a mom, just like a man has to grow and be ready for that. I feel like I was never really ready. I thought I was ready, but I wasn't really ready.
But you're ready right now.
I feel like I'd be a great wife and a great mom. Like, I really feel confident. Like, I feel like when my husband finds me, it's going to be like, yes, I love my wife. Because I'm now that woman that I'm proud to become. Like, you know, not behind closed doors, but in front of doors, outside. Like, I'm just really that girl with God's eyes, not from human, you know? Gotcha. So it took time for me to become this woman, and I'm proud of her.
Okay, I don't know nothing about you, right? I don't even know what
Okay, let's run it.
What do you do?
So I have 3 businesses. Most people, my success came from network marketing. So I was able to earn about like, you know, some 7 figures, about $8 million in network marketing in the past 3 years. I've been able to help over 80,000 people make a check from network marketing in the past 3 years. And that success allowed me to use the product and service that I offer to build my brand. So before network marketing, I owned a salon for 10 years. Right out of college, I went to Howard University, studied business and public relations, jumped off the porch, opened up a salon with $10,000 and still was doing bottle service at the same time. And that's what propelled me into like the beauty and wellness space. So network marketing changed my life because I was always chasing money, to be honest with you. I was chasing money for a very long time. And I believe that God gave me network marketing, something that people think is a pyramid, for me to create income and success with. So now, fast forward, I'm a businesswoman. I have a store in the Houston Galleria We're a self-care lounge for women. We service women and men, but primarily women. Skincare, wellness products, activewear, and I'm really excited about that new business. And that's what I do for a living. Oh, and then I can't forget, I have Women Who Boss Network, which is my newest baby. I was telling you about the podcast before we started. I'm really excited about it because I feel like everything I've been through in life was for women. It was like, I feel like we go through so much as women. Like we get, sidetracked sometimes, we get influenced sometimes. And sometimes we're just figuring ourselves out. And that was me at one point in my life. So me discovering who Nathalie is, I want to help other women, become the best version of themselves. And I created a safe place called Women Who Boss Network, where I offer business tools, branding tools, and just really understanding God on a different level.
It's beautiful. So if I heard correctly, you say you've been successful 3 years or?
So I've always made six figures since I was 22 years old.
But from the beauty shop?
Yes, from the beauty brand. I did Martin Lawrence, presents the First Amendment. He was my first real big client. He paid me $3,000 a day. So in DC.
Martin Lawrence?
Yeah.
To do what?
Makeup for his comedians.
Oh.
Yeah, so I did makeup. I did celebrity makeup and hair for many years.
Okay.
Since I was 22 years old. So that's where my real passion came from. So then I got a little burnt out right around 28 years old, got into network marketing, and network marketing really changed my life.
When you say chasing money, for how long since you've been a little girl?
To be honest, Jonathan, I've been chasing money for a long time. Since I was 12 years old, I was selling candy. I sold Metro cards. My mom and dad got a divorce when I was in 5th grade. And I didn't know that my mom was struggling because we moved to my grandmother's house. But when we moved to my grandmother's house, imagine being raised in a suburban environment, all Jewish. I'm the being called pretty for a dark-skinned girl. So it was a lot of trauma that was built up at a young age from just money, So when I had the ability to start making money, I went crazy. I did modeling. I hosted clubs. I did bottle service. And then when I got into college, that's when the other side of money, guys came in, And my first real relationship, was a guy from the streets for some years. And that's when I realized that I had a problem, right? Because I was making money in college. I realized I had a problem. What's so crazy? He called me from jail, and he was he's so proud of me. And we're never gonna get back together.
He's in jail?
He's in prison.
So he was doing illegal shit back then? What?
At the time, you're guilty by association. Yeah. Let's just say that. And I would do anything. I'm a lover. I love love. But I'm also a good girl, So imagine being in college, Howard University, businesswoman, selling hair, and then you meet this guy and he exposed you to a different life. A life that you never thought existed. Your parents protect you for so long, and then when you go out on your own, you're like, whoa, what is this? So for many years, I was sidetracked. And although I would still work, my boyfriend at the time, he was a boss, in his own right. And he couldn't really get me to settle down or just fall short into his own whatever idea he had for me, because I was a hustler. So I had a salon, I always did things. So the only thing that really got us to break up was him going to jail. And when he went to prison, I got really focused. I got really, really focused. It was a hurtful relationship. He always told me I'm too young and stuff like that, because I'm gonna hurt you. And I would never forget his words. I was like, what you mean I'm too young? But he was really, I feel like he came in my life to show me that the world wasn't as sweet as I thought it was. So I learned a lot from that relationship.
Did you leave him when he got locked up?
So it was a really bad situation. Now I guess everything is good now. I could talk about it. He left himself. It was I was so young in college. He had a lot of girls. I'm one of probably 3 girls. At the time, I didn't know, So mind you, I don't have no house to put up. I don't have any of that stuff. I'm in college. So when he got locked up, I guess he was able to concentrate on whoever it is that he needs to concentrate on to make sure he was good. So he would call me and stuff like that, but he wanted me to focus on school, and that was good. That was good for me. I think everything happened for a reason.
So did you use him for money?
Did he use me for money?
Did you use him for money?
No,
You said you had a problem, but
it was like he exposed me to a different level of money. So he exposed me to like finer things in life. And that was the beginning of me attracting men like that, honestly. So guys have bought me cars and just different things that is not normal. And I just have to realize at an adult age, like Nathalie, that's like when I honed in on Nathalie, I realized that those relationships weren't benefiting me 100%. It was benefiting them a lot too, because trying to manipulate me, trying to control me with money and like finer things in life that I could not afford at the time. I didn't make enough money. So what they were doing is way more than I can do for myself. So I had to, that's when the whole like understanding what love looked like, and that love is not just going to be associated to material things. So when someone loves you, it's an action. It's not because they can buy you something.
Were you attracting these men, or were you just going after these type of men?
I honestly feel like they were finding me. I'm like even to this day, like, you're laughing, it's true. I've never been a woman that chased guys. Yeah. Like I've always, like guys will look for me or find me. And then on top of that, I feel like they've been a distraction. Because I feel like my greatness should have happened before the age of like 32, I think it was, around that time. So me entertaining these type of men just because they financially can do something extra in my life, I could have bettered on myself. So they were a distraction. It wasn't so much because of what they can do for me. Like they liked me being around them. They felt like I'm a pretty girl and I went to Howard, whatever they used to say was good for their own ego. So at the end of the day, I enjoyed the relationships. It was like we really loved each other, I think. Like we liked each other a lot, I would say. It wasn't like you're just using me for that time. Like we would build, I'll meet their family and stuff, But then when I realized, and it wasn't a lot, it was like probably 2 guys because it was like 4 years, another 3 years. Then I went cold turkey and started dating like a pastor or something like that, And I was like, you know what, Nathalie? You got to figure out what you want, So I went through a cycle of just realizing that I'm not really boy crazy or male crazy. And I was chasing, it was like the pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of success that I've been chasing for a very long time. Until I got to it, I realized, okay, there's a whole nother level of life that I need to get to. And that's when my purpose started to be ignited.
So basically, they slowed you down. You could have been got to where you were trying to get to.
For sure.
If they wasn't as a crutch in your life.
For sure. And they couldn't that baby talk and the marriage talk, it sounded good. But then when I wake up, I was like, no, we're not about to do that, So being able to have standards in my life, that's something I always desire to have. But of course, our flesh, we fall short by the glory of God, because I believe that God desires for us to be happy. I believe that God wants us to create families and, love and all that good stuff. But I think that flesh sometimes overtakes us. So me seeing the finer things in life at a younger age, it really showed me a lot though. It showed me that it's possible. It did show me that it was possible. It did.
How was it dating a pastor? Wouldn't that be like the dream man to have? He's the man of God. He got a church and.
So.
Did you have sex?
We did, but at the end of the day, because I'm not gonna lie.
Rebuke the devil. It's okay.
It's not. I'm not gonna lie. At the end of the day, yeah, we did, but it wasn't even like that. It wasn't that type of relationship. I'm be honest with you. I needed that relationship in my life at that time, because I was in a point of, I was in a pivot. And I think God put this guy in my life to really show me how good he was. Because I was raised in the church. So imagine this church girl going to college and then seeing all these amazing things in life. I was like, wow. I would still go to church every Sunday, but it was just I had this other side of me that I was fighting. And it was not so much about, I've never been the girl that's about to be doing all this stuff with guys. No, that wasn't my thing. It was money. It was I was chasing money. I was always want to do business stuff. And I would travel to do bottle service, for God's sakes. I would literally travel across the world to do bottle service. And I make a lot of money, but that's not the be all. So fast forward with the guy, he just wasn't my type. I don't think I was his type. I wasn't willing to I don't feel like you have to look a certain way to love God,
You trying to change the way you look?
I don't think he tried to change it, but I think that his environment needed me to be something that I wasn't, So I realized for myself, it was just a different shift that I needed in my life, and he needed something else in his life. He wanted to have a family, children and stuff. That's not something I wanted to have at that time. Yep, so it worked out for the good, and everything happens in your life for a reason.
Could you be with a man that's not into church?
My man has to love God. He doesn't have to be into church, though. My man has to love God, though, because if you love God, you'll love me. If you break God's heart, if you broke my heart, you'll break God's heart. So I believe that I can be a great asset to a man and show him how good God is, but it has to be inside his heart. And I also think that when a man finds his wife, he really finds a good thing. And I feel like together there'll be a unity where they desire to get closer to God, So I don't think my man has to be this big time preacher. But if he loves God, loving God doesn't have a certain look. It's an action, So I'm gonna watch him, how he moves, how he treats people, how he treats himself, how he treats me. And then I know God is really living inside you, because we all fall short. And I feel like a society makes it seem like you have to be a certain way to love God, or you have to show up in a certain way. No, I'm sure that somebody will watch this show that we're on right now and decide to love God from our conversation.
That means you're a strong woman.
I know my assignment now, and I feel like I don't have to look a certain way. I thought that being a Christian, I had to look a certain way, and I had to be perfect. No, I'm not perfect. I'm still learning every day. I'm figuring myself out every single day. Money does not make me perfect. And I'm still evolving in that space. I'm not wealthy. I make money, but God has a different type of flow for me. And because he has a different type of flow for me, I'm obedient. And it's not comfortable right now at all, but I'm ready for it. I just feel like my life here on earth is not just for the temporary. It's something way bigger that he has for my life, and I'm still figuring it out, but I'm okay with it. And as long as I'm showing up every single day, he keeps unleashing so many great things right now, and I'm excited about it again.
I feel the same way. Some days, I think people put a date on your success.
Right.
They'll see you doing good, and they expect you to be this certain person by this certain time limit, certain time frame.
Right.
And I just go with the flow. Whatever's for me is for me.
Always.
I'm not tripping if one thing don't happen for me, I know another door will. But no, I like it that you said that. Would you in the position you're in now, could you deal with the guy that is still working, trying to find himself?
Yeah, I think it's beautiful, right? Because there's a lot of great jobs out here. I feel like our world has painted entrepreneurship as the be all. I know a lot of struggling entrepreneurs. I know a lot of entrepreneurs of S Corps and C Corps and LLCs that don't make 6 figures every year. They don't make 7 figures every year. Maybe they had 1 year that was a success, but the next year is not such a success, and now they're, experiencing imposter syndrome, So dating a man that loves God and is self-motivated and hardworking, imagine a Natalie in your life. Imagine a Natalie, for real. In your life, it's you can do it, babe. And it just, what do you want to do exactly? And if he has the work ethic, it's up. And I feel like that's what's missing right now in society. I feel like a lot of men, my DMs are in shambles.
Shambles.
They're in shambles, okay? The amount of guys that ask, can I take you to Dubai? What makes you think I'm going to go to Dubai with you? Why would I do that? Why? And then another guy was like, well, can I take you shopping? Why do you think I'll just go to the mall and go shopping with you? I'm not that girl. And it's okay. Well, it's not okay. Because I feel bad for men like that. Because some of them might not even have money like that, but they'll spend their last dollar to win a woman that they really can't handle. So you're leading with money, and you're leading. So if a man is hardworking and he's keeping in the buck, listen, I make 6 figures. And this is where I'm at right now. The reality is we probably should be friends. We should probably just be friends. If that's what I desired, we should probably just be friends, or for whatever woman that is looking to date. And then get to know him and get to know his work ethic. What time does he wake up in the morning? Like, what does he do during the day? When he gets off of work, what does his day look like? Does he desire more? What is his relationship with God? Does he believe that God is a big God and can change his life?
Damn.
That's my thing, because God's a miracle worker. And one thing about God, one of my favorite scriptures is Jeremiah 29:11. And God knows the plans that he has for our life. He already knew about your show. He already knows about what he has for your life. He already understands that, but he's waiting for us to be obedient. He's waiting for us to show up. That's why I asked you downstairs. I said, how long you been doing this? What work have you done towards building up your platform? And that's important because God knows what you really do. When people show up on Instagram, God already knows what they're really doing. So when a person locks in and says, you know what, God, you know the plans that you have for my life, plans not to harm me, plans not to hurt me, but plans to prosper me, I trust you. Guess what happens? Every day we wake up, and that's when beast mode happens. That's when you don't be like, I'm tired, I don't feel like it. When you know that God has a plan for your life, you get up ready for greatness.
What's your work ethic?
Man, every day. I mean, like, it's crazy. Like, I have busy days every single day. And when I say busy days, I have income-producing days every day. I call it IPA, income-producing activity. I wake up, I have time with God. I love hearing gospel music super loud. It's just my thing. It's like me telling God, what's up? You know, I listen to Lecrae or Pastor Mike. I just listen to the gospel mix, you know, like uplifting music. Then I go work out. I take my TLC products, my vitamins, my energy supplement.
TLC, that's your product?
Yeah, I bring you some too. You have a gift.
Lord.
Well, I don't need you to join, but I just believe in health as well. So it's like, that's my assignment though. I wouldn't be doing my assignment if I didn't bring you products. So I'm gonna get you some. Vitamins are important.
Is it detox?
It's a vitamin and an energy. I do have detox as well, but it's whatever you desire. So then I take my products, I go to the gym, I work out. Sometimes I do like 5 miles a day. I really enjoy doing 5 miles. I check my emails when I'm walking and stuff like that. I get on the phone. I talk to people that have positive conversations in the morning. Like if you're like on the phone, like with anxiety, I don't talk to you in the morning. I talk to people that, like my mom, my dad, check in with them, and they just really just zone out into what I want to happen during my day. And I set my intentions in the morning. And then every single day I write a to-do list on, you know, like the notes in your phone. So there's a checklist tab. And I love it's just the feeling of the checks being checked off. I just go through
What
it.
is that?
It's in your notes. So let's say
Okay.
It's one of the best applications on our phone that we don't really use like that. Because you literally can go on your notes and say, edit this podcast, do this. And during the day when you feel like you're shifting, go back to your notes and get back on track. So that's something I do consistently every day. And then I just do some type of self-care. Like I read books, I listen to Audible. Sometimes I'm just quiet. I just sit down and just listen to my own thoughts. I'm not the type of person that needs to be like outside all the time or like be on the phone. I'm not really on the phone like that. Like I don't really care to be on the phone talking about nothing, you know?
Do you get burnt out?
No, because I'm enjoying life. So I live on the beach. I have a place in LA too. So I'm enjoying life right now. Like I do things that I want to do. Like everything I'm doing right now, I thoroughly enjoy.
How can you really be happy if there's no mate in your life? Like doesn't flying to Miami, flying to LA, like you don't get lonely?
I never said I wasn't dating.
You say you're single.
I'm not. Okay, so you're single or you're married or you are in a relationship, right?
Okay. All right.
So everyone dates differently. I'm dating right now. And with my time that I have, my dating style is by choice, you know? So I'm not lonely at all.
Dating style by choice.
Some people like to date multiple men. Some people like to date multiple women, right? Like I'm dating my person and we're chilling. I'm building a foundation. Like I'm tired of jumping from relationship to relationship. I desire a friendship, a bond, something real. And then if that works out, then we can go to the next level. But I don't want to just be one of your collectible pieces in your life and we don't have anything. Like having a friendship, a friend that really I can understand what they're going through good things, bad things, like, and be an asset. Like, being an asset is not just your body, you know, being able to like really support somebody, you know, mentally, emotionally. Like, that's what I'm doing right now, and I enjoy it. And if that doesn't work out, then I do my thing. But I feel like society has like created this like style of how you should date, you know, and that's how you get into situationships.
I feel that.
Yeah, I'm cool off of that.
I be telling myself, like, you know, I'm not going to rush in a relationship. Like, people will try to make you get in these relationships and feel like you need to be, or they'll be like, oh, you're a hoe. What? To men. Oh, you just want to be a hoe. But it's really like, I feel like I'm 33, so I'm to the point where like my next relationship has to be my last. So I have to really take my time on the person that I choose to be with. And just like you said, like, I need a friendship first with no sex involved. I need to get to understand this person that I'm about to maybe share my life with. And when you say that, oh, I just want to be friends, they take it the wrong way. Like, oh, well, he don't want no commitment. Well, it's not that. It's just the fact that I want to take things slow. Like, chill, relax.
So 2 things I would say about that. I'm proud of you for that. You're entering a Kairos season of your life where God's about to do like a new thing in your life. It's uncomfortable, right? It'd be uncomfortable for you and for the women that you're attracting, because it's different. A lot of women feel like, a lot of women that are like figuring themselves out, they believe when a man is like showing them all this time and attention, that makes them feel wanted. You know? So one thing I always say to any of my friends or people that I rock with is one whole person plus another whole person equals a healthy relationship and a healthy union. Right now, the focus is being whole. Like, my focus is being whole, Natalie.
Yeah.
Like, what does that look like? What does that feel like? Without somebody else interjecting in my growth, like, what is God trying to do with my soul, and my mind, and my body? Like, what is he trying to do with me? And that's something that I'm working on right now. And as a friend, they have to respect that. And as a friend, I want that for that person as well. Because guess what? If we're both in this space of growth and development, God is going to find you your person. Like, you don't got to search for her.
You ain't got to.
You don't have to.
I honestly feel that.
You don't have to search for her. And anyone that is putting themselves on you, whether it's sending you nudes or sending you like temporary stuff to get your attention, they're not your person, because you don't got to do all that. Like, when you really are like in your flow, God will align you with your person. And sometimes it's like the person be right in front of you the whole time. You're like, hold up, wait a minute. That's not that. But when you are in your own flow, you don't got to rush anything. So in my flow, I haven't really had to rush anything in a minute, but I'm listening to God. And I literally, like, if God says to me right now, that's not your person, they playing games. If anything's exposed, then it just feels weird. They're not really being a friend. Like, I'm really defining what a friend means to me too. Like, I want to marry my best friend. I really want that for me. And I don't want to play that type of game and like act like someone's my friend and we're not really friends. Friends got each other's backs. Friends go through ups and downs. Friends, and everything's not going to always be like gravy every day. Like, are you really my friend? Are you my friend when I'm not feeling the best? Are you my friend when I'm happy? Are you celebrating those moments with me? Am I doing that for you? And that's a friendship. And I feel like when that locks in, and that's why I have Women Who Boss Network, because I want to help other women like grow like I'm growing right now. I want accountability, actually. It's not even about me looking down on no other woman. It's like a lot of us are going through the same thing, but if we don't have another woman that stands up and says, you know what worked then is not going to work now. And if we want our husband like to find us, we got to become whole women. So that's where I'm at. And I feel like that's what men have to do as well. Because leading the same way, like, if you want to buy somebody something, that's cool. But if you're buying somebody something to get their energy and their attention, that's temporary.
Very temporary. That's
very surface. And listen, you want to have a good time, that's up to them or whatever. But I feel like when you're saying to yourself that you literally just said to God, and I want you to, like, when you really get on your knees, and you don't got do one good knee prayer. Like, I'm not gonna lie, do one good knee prayer, like, where it's like, just shut out the noise. Talk to God and be like, you know what, God, you got your eyes open, doesn't even matter. God, keep me focused. Help me build my platform. Send me the people and things that can help me elevate and do your good. And allow whatever distraction that's coming in my life to leave. literally that prayer was powerful for me because he literally just started boom, boom out of my life. And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute, I wasn't ready for that, you know? And I feel like I feel more clear now. Now, there's still days where I'm like, okay, you know, because I got the same phone number, you know? But I'm just such a different woman. I don't really like deal with a lot of crap anymore. I just don't.
You said so much. You a talker.
Hey.
I like that. You do motivation speaking?
I do real life now. I feel like at one point I thought it was motivational speaking, but it's just real life. I feel like people don't communicate anymore. Like, you know, and I feel like I had really poor communication skills and I thought I was really great at it. And communicating is listening, like me listening to you and me responding, not just from what I want to say, but from what needs to be said with a response. That's communication. So no more motivational speaking for me. More real life speaking, more like allowing God to use me and speak real life, not just for that surface stuff anymore. I did all that. I'm cool.
I think that's why I'm so popular, because my shit be so authentic. And
it's real.
I come from a place where I talk like I'm talking to like my homies. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to like my homegirl sitting right here with no filter. And I think like people get on the internet, they try to be like so politically correct, and it'd be hard for people to connect with people that just kind of sound like this same cadence. Like these people that sound like they just, I don't know, it always sound like they're trying to sell you something at the end of something. Like you give me motivation, but why it don't sound so real?
Because most people are trying to sell you something. And what happens with social media is that when you build a brand, like a personal brand, whatever you touch will prosper. But when you're building a brand just from the business standpoint and people don't know your heart or they can't feel your authenticity, it's not real. You know, so the reason why I was able to do network marketing and be successful, the reason why I can sell skincare and I can sell swimsuits is because showing up as my true self is working. And that's what your brand does. Like, I'm be honest with you. If I want to be honest with you for real, your brand has a lot of moving parts. But one of the parts I love about your brand is you showing up as your true self and being consistent. I love that. So I did see a few of your episodes. I'm like, well, maybe this not really my vibe for real. But guess what? God will use you to connect with other people, to bless more people on your platform. Because if you're saying this to yourself, like, hey, I really, like, think about this. You might speak about all that sex stuff, whatever it is, but the truth really is you're relatable to a lot of people that want to actually hear that. But then also I do read your comments. There's a lot of people that love the motivation and love the transparency in there as well. So while you're showing up, even you being vulnerable and saying like, my next relationship, I want it to be my last, there's a lot of people that feel the same way. And God is gonna like maneuver your conversation too as you continue to grow. Even with that conversation you say you have, like once a week where you speak your truth, that's dope. Because now people can say, you know what? If he's going through that, I can grow too.
What about my show that made you say that it's not your vibe?
See, my thing is like, I don't really have like a sexual brand. You know what I'm saying? Like, although I know I look good, I know that guys in my DMs, I don't use that to validate like my existence online. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like that's, even when I did bottle service, like a person can't say like, I was that girl that was getting like passed around in the city, like never. So I pride myself on being that type of woman, and I have to watch who I collaborate with. I do, but I do know this. A lot of guys like yourself, they always slide in my DM like, all right, well, if I can't have you, where your friends at? Right? Or they say something like that. And I was like, So there's a lot of great women on social media that I know, but what are they doing to not show up? And why are they being overlooked? So I feel like a lot of women that lead with sex or lead with like being naked, sometimes they're being, they're getting the experience, I guess, first with guys. And then the guy gets them, they're like, I don't want that girl anymore. Then they go to the other woman, but by the time they go to that woman, they're like traumatized already because they feel like, oh my God, because I listen to some of the stuff you're saying, it's funny. I'm like, you got to change your preference. You got to change your taste buds, you know, because there's a lot of quality women out here. So to answer your question, I feel like a lot of people that will watch this podcast will, okay, you can be fly, you can be sexy, you can be smart, you can change your life, and you can attract, your dreams, and you don't have to rush. You don't have, if you don't, like for me, I don't have any kids yet, but that doesn't mean that I'm like not capable, So I feel as though that looking at me, you don't have to rush into something. Even if you're 23 years old or 25 years old. Like I've seen 23-year-olds, no shade, but like they look old, And I'm like, no, it's really, but it's sad though, because the world has created a space where getting these fillers in your face and again, you can do whatever you want with moderation. That's what you want. I personally am not running to get a Botox in my face. I'm gonna wait if I have to do that, right? But to look a certain way because you want a man to like you is like we gotta shake it up again and get back to reality. Like yourself. 1 million likes on Instagram means nothing if you don't like yourself.
Man, what?
I don't care how many likes you have.
Man, what?
That's why people turn their likes off, because they don't want to face the truth. Like all that work you did for that photo, they don't really like it like that. So imagine being yourself.
And they say they don't do it for the men. They do it for themselves.
Who said that?
That's what they say. Like oh, don't get a BBL. Oh, you ain't need a BBL. Oh, I ain't get it for a man. I got it for me.
So when you become your authentic self, you get to the root of it. When you change your body, when you change your face, when you change anything on your body, right? There's a root of why you're doing that. There's always a root of it, right? Because you can literally go to the gym and change your body, right? So I'm not knocking whoever's ever done that, because I've had my experience with lipo before and I still got fat as hell afterwards. I gained 50 pounds afterwards. So I said to myself, do I go run back and do what I did before, or do I go in the gym and lose some weight and have some discipline with myself? Because now that I conquered that goal recently, I know I can do anything. So I think that some women might feel like they don't do it for men, but you want acceptance. Who doesn't want to feel like they're loved? But when you like and love yourself, then whoever likes you and love you is secondary.
My platform. So I know what you meant when you said okay, the sex vibe, whatever. So that's not the goal, but it'd be the women that are on here, right? So with you, I don't think I could. I probably could, but I couldn't have that conversation with you because you give a whole your demeanor doesn't give that off. You don't even, that ain't even come out your mouth yet, right? So when I sit on these couch with women and those conversations come up, okay, this is what it is, right? And I try not to water down the brand with that, but I guess lately, because I don't want anybody, I want a person that's new coming on my page, I want to see a variety of different content when it comes to women, but I try to spread out the different type of women that I have on here so it don't give that look, that image, oh, he talk about the sex, or he does his flirt with women. And I just don't want that image.
What image do you want?
I just want an image where I'm a man that can communicate well with women, that can have different conversations with women on all different levels when it comes to OnlyFans, or it comes to political stuff, business stuff. I can
well-versed, diversified.
With anyone.
I feel like as you continue to build like you're doing, your gifts will make room for you. And your show will continue to shape into that show that you desire to become. I feel like those conversations are important, because after a woman hears themselves, they have to literally listen to what they just said.
Yeah.
Right? And think about what you said to me. You said that you desire a relationship that has a friendship foundation that's not based on sex. So let's say hypothetically a woman comes on your platform and that's all she talks about. She literally X'd herself out of, even if she was attracted to you, she did X herself out of that equation because that's all her conversation could cover, right? So I think that as you continue to diversify your platform, people will be inspired to really even ask you questions, or even come here as their authentic self and say, you know what, I'm trying to change my life. This is what I got going on. I'm doing business. I'm doing this. My love life sucks. Whatever it is, So I think you're doing a great job. I think that people are showing up as who they really are, and you're allowing them to be their best self. And that's that. Because I've seen some other shows. Shanika's show was good. Shanika show was like, Tyra show was cool. I didn't really see everybody's show though. I see a lot of your guys that come on, you know. But for the women, I can't remember.
I try to give balance. Like, okay, like it'll be your episode, which would be like a really good, motivating episode for women. And then I have, you know, maybe a stripper or OnlyFans girls on here. But I feel like women or people just need to hear these conversations because you got to understand how people think. And you can't be out here green, especially to guys, right? Guys need to hear this type of stuff because this is real life. And you thinking every woman is a good woman is for you, but really they be about their bag, right? Like you was about a bag years ago. I'm not saying that you was just...
I really love, but can I be honest with you? Like, even to this day, like why, like anyone that I really dated seriously, they really loved me. I'm telling you this for real. Like if we had like a call in right now, I promise you, like, let me tell you a funny story. So my ex-boyfriend called me from prison and I didn't know what the phone call was. And I was like, what is this? Like, cause I'm like, why is someone calling me? And I never answer the phone for like random FaceTimes or whatever. I'm like, first of all, why are you calling me? And then secondly, what is this background? So I was like, whoa, how are you? So mind you, he honestly like was a part of why I went hard because I was like, a man will never do that again. Like, you know, I felt so like I didn't feel worthy, you know, after I dated him. And I felt like as a woman, I allowed things that I shouldn't have allowed. So when he FaceTimed me, he had his homeboys in prison in the background. He was like, this is Nathalie. He was like, look, he said another word, that's my old B. I said, that's your old what? And I was like, listen, check this out. What's up, right? I got real serious. He's like, no, I want to tell you, I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of you and the woman that you've become. And you know what? It's crazy because like, I don't really get the proud of me conversations a lot from people, you know? And to see someone that knew me from my past, he knew that I wasn't there for just his money. Like, I thought that I can help him. I thought I was one of those girls that I thought that I was like smart enough to like open a business for you or do something like, you know, like transformational. But I was a little girl, you know? So in the season of my life, I don't feel like it was just for money. It was like, I think I read too many books as a child. Like Coldest Winter Ever, Fly Girl. Yeah, it was so good. And I really felt like I was like winter, okay? And when I got in these relationships, I was like, oh, I'm not built for this, you know? So I feel like everything happened for a reason. And in my adult life, I love seeing men like healthy and like healed. Like I'm just into that. And I love a man that went through something and was able to come out of it. It's just, that just does it for me. And I love what our culture is doing to rebuild the Black man out loud. Like I love Black men showing up. I love just women showing up too. I just love this for us right now. And I feel like even if you were someone that entertained toxicity in the past, showing up as a renewed spirit gives so many people hope. So that's what I love. So yeah, shout out to my ex, you know, and whatever, you know, went on in the past. I was young, 21, 20 years old. I didn't think I had ID. I think the first time I went to Miami's with him, you know? So I learned a lot. And I'm the woman that I am today because of the experiences that I've been through.
Is it hard being dark-skinned?
Is it hard being dark-skinned? You know what? I think it's like the best kept secret right now because at one point, I think colorism is a thing. When I was younger, a lot of people will say like, you're pretty for a dark-skinned girl, or, you know, why is your nose small, or like, why is your lips like this? And I'm like, that was weird to me. I didn't understand that. I went to Howard. So when I went to Howard, it was like, you're pretty for a dark-skinned girl. And that really like bothered me a little bit. And then as I just got into my own wave, it was like, the men just love it. Like they love melanin skin. I mean, to the point where like men are in my DM like, you're just the perfect chocolate. And I'm like, this is crazy.
That's how I started off.
You know?
Beautiful chocolate woman.
Yeah, it's like, what is that about? You know? So I just love myself. And I don't think I look at myself as just a dark-skinned woman. I look at myself as a beautiful, melanated woman. My mom is really dark and chocolate. She's from Trinidad. She's so beautiful. Dimples, so pretty, you know? And I just know that my genes are really good. I know I'm going to be really like nice looking when I get older. So I just feel like taking care of myself. I love light-skinned people, dark-skinned people, whatever a woman is, whatever you are, just take care of yourself. So being a dark woman, I'm proud of me. And I hope that other dark women continue to like embrace their color. So they're like bleaching their skin and all that stuff.
Was there ever a point where you felt like you were ugly because of your skin color?
Like, my parents messed it up for a lot of people. Like, when I was young, my mom and dad always told me how pretty I was. And then, like, I was in commercials and stuff. So a lot of, my lip gloss, a lot of my teachers when I was younger treated me like very special when I was really young. But the kids were kind of mean to me. Like, because I went to school with like Jewish and like Spanish kids and light-skinned kids, like biracial kids. So I've always really loved myself, and it was challenging at one point. But then when I got into my adult life, I was just like, I'm really like, I like this for me. You know, even like, I feel like my hair, I just think that, of course, you know, this hair is cute. Shout out to Gold Label hair. But I don't know if you saw my social media, I wear my real hair a lot. Like, I just love that I'm embracing my natural beauty, you know, like without makeup, with makeup. Like, I love myself. I don't have to like go get a makeup artist to do my makeup. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just love me. I really do.
Let me see what's your hair. What's your hair?
What was you saying your phone? There's a lot of photos. I think I was in the jacuzzi the other day. Live my best life.
I love naturalness. I love no makeup, no weave. Oh, look at you.
I always live my best life on social media.
What building you live in?
We ain't gonna do that.
Oh, my bad. I'm tripping. I forgot what we was doing.
That was funny. Like, wait, what you trying to do?
I forgot what we was doing.
Like, what's up?
My bad.
Yeah, no, but I take care of myself. And I think that's important, though. I think that it's one thing to, like, aesthetically show up with your nails and, like, all that extra stuff.
Yeah.
But to feel good about yourself, like, your husband's going to have to look at that, you know? So even on FaceTime, like, I love the fact that I look good on FaceTime, you know? Like, I pride myself on taking care of myself. And that's, like, the foundation of self-care for me. Just loving myself, feeling good, making sure that Natalie's rejuvenated, making sure that I can show up as my best self.
When you say take care of yourself, like, how do you eat?
So one thing about me is I eat. I like food, but I eat like things that feed my body. So I love salads. I love tacos. I love Caribbean food. I'm not a McDonald's girl, or like I'm not that type of Burger King girl at all. You know, I do like Chipotle. Maybe people don't like Chipotle, but I like Chipotle because I know people like, why you like Chipotle? I go to like Chipotle's are in good neighborhoods.
What's the difference?
Everything's the difference. So when you look at the setup around the bowls, if there's like food like all over the place, I don't eat there. That means they do not like take care of the food the right way.
Oh, okay.
So I love that. I know how to cook really clean food. I love clean eating. In the pandemic, I learned how to cook really good.
You know how to cook Caribbean food?
I do. Yeah, I do. That's my favorite food ever. Caribbean food and Hispanic food is my favorite.
Your husband's going to be a happy man.
I like clean eating. Like, you know, so I'm excited about whatever day that God says, you know what, that's going to be like your moment, because I feel like I'm saving a lot of stuff for my husband.
You don't cook for men?
I do. Like, I don't just cook. That's not my thing. Like, for my man, yeah. But I'm not going to be like, oh, come to my house, let me cook for you, some random people. Like, I'm not doing that.
The guy you're dating right now, would you cook for him?
Yeah, I've cooked before for him. Yeah. Like, I cook clean. Like, I'm not cooking fried chicken. I'm not cooking a bunch of stuff that's going to splatter everywhere. Like, I don't like that, personally, for me. Can I get better at certain things? Yeah. My mom said she's going to teach me how to do some other stuff. But, like, I can cook, like, clean food. Like, my man's going to be like, she can cook clean.
Could you date a younger man? Like, this is to say if he was 33, you're 35.
You know what? Okay, so if I was in that space of, like, oh, my God, applications open. Yeah, because...
Applications open.
Like, if I was in that space. Because here's the thing. I want women to know this. Like, date a mindset. Date a heart. You know? Like, who knows, that man can be before his time, you know? So I feel like there's a lot of older, because I did the older guy thing, and I met a lot of older guys that are not there, you know? So I think that you should date somebody for who they are, their heart, how they treat you, their mind. Yeah. if applications were open, I'm like, okay,
Applications not open.
Like, I'm busy. I got stuff going on. I'm dating somebody. Like, we're good. Like, you know, I'm not in a relationship. We're building a friendship. And on top of that, to be really honest with you, like, I'm in my bag again. You know, like, God has just been elevating me and putting me in, like, different situations right now where I'm excited about my show. I even have endorsements and sponsorships already, and I haven't even launched yet, you know? So I'm excited, again, about just life and business. I feel like whoever's going to come in my life, I'm going to feel it. I don't have to, like, search and, like, say, applications open, let me look, you know? I'm going to feel it. I just really believe, I really believe, I feel like for me, it's not going to be an Instagram relationship. It's not going to be, like, a relationship where, like, you're going to see every season of our growth. I'm going to be one of those women that's going to pop up married.
I'm going to be the same way. I'm going to be a guy that just pop up with a child, pop up with a wife.
I feel like that. I don't feel like I'm going to be like, yeah, this is like, remember the card thing? I love that for everybody.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I really was like, I want that. Like, I did have this one day, I was like, but I thought about, do you want that because of the way it looks, or do you want a man to really do that in real life?
Right.
Like, which one do you want? You know? So I just think I'm chasing something different right now. And I love it. I love this for me.
I really wish it wasn't for the gram. I really wish, like, that was just like...
Yeah, like, are you really doing that for your woman?
Yeah.
Are you really thoughtful like that? And again, I've been in relations that have been very thoughtful. Like, I don't feel like... I feel like any relationship I've been in, I feel like it had to happen. I wasn't treated like... No one just dogged me out. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like my next relationship is going to be like... You're going to be like, God, you just blessed me with Nathalie. It's going to be like, we're going to both feel like that about each other. Like, I'm going to be like, thank you, guys. I'm like, thank you, God. It's going to feel good, you know? So, and we're going to do that off of just, we love each other. I'm like, babe, what do you want to do today? It's your day.
So the guy you're with is not your person.
So I wouldn't say that. I would say that, okay, it's two things. The friendship thing matters to me for the first time ever. That never mattered to me before. I would say that and like lie to myself, like we were friends for all these years. No. Friendship is when you're really building a bond, right? And during your friendship, you determine if it can go to the next level. We're in that phase right now. And he's a great guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, I don't know how he treated other women. I don't even care about that, you know? I just know for me, like, we're cool, you know? And I feel like it works for right now. I don't know what God has for me. And I'm not stuck on this is just it. Because when God downloads to this man that he wants to step his game up and lock in, I pray that it's at the right time, you know? Because I'm not going to be out here single forever. Like, you know, like you have to like, you got to really handle me with care. Like, I'm that girl you have to handle with care. And I just pray to God that he handles me with care and in this season, because I'm not finna just be single forever. You know, like.
So are you're not taking applications, but are you taking friend applications?
So at this moment, you know, I like to laugh. Why you got me laughing like this? So at this moment, I don't think I'll be a good friend to anybody. Like, I feel like between my store right now, between like my business, again, I am single dating, right? If it was the average woman out here, I would tell her, girl, accept the friends, okay? May the best man win. I would say that to the next woman because I feel like she shouldn't be locked in with somebody unless he's showing up, like, and putting pressure on that friendship. And you know you guys are dating intentionally. But for me right now, I'm good, you know?
You're not dating intentionally?
I'm dating intentionally as far as our friendship, but we're not in a relationship. So there's no, like, I'm not going to give him a time. Like, in my mind, I'm watching how I feel, you know? Like, I'm watching, like, does this feel good today? Does this feel good this month? And I'm auditing how I feel every month, you know? And I feel like the man that is for me, if this man is for me, he's going to catch on and he's going to figure things out soon. We're going to feel it together. And if our time has expired, our time will expire. You know, like that's just where I'm at. I don't have the perfect answer right now because I've never done this before. I've never in my life, like I wish I had a dating book to tell people like, I don't know. I'm just really trusting God out here right now. Like it's very vulnerable. It's a very vulnerable space to be in to say like, why aren't you talking to all these guys? You know, it's like I'm focusing on my business. I'm focusing on my spirituality. I'm focusing on my wholeness. I just got in a relationship for 2 years. You know, I was in a relationship for 2 years from 2020 to 2022. And I just want to be a great woman to my husband one day. And I feel like I'm dealing with myself right now. And the person that's in my life, he doesn't interrupt that.
Answer this question. If you had to choose.
Oh, God.
No. If you had to choose between a relationship or Instagram. I know.
What do you mean, Instagram? Like, have an Instagram?
Yep.
Like what? Like
Instagram. Instagram is gone.
My man is not going to even. I'm not going to attract a man that wants me like that.
But listen. But you got to think about Instagram.
Tell me about it, because
it's like a revenue stream, right? This is where you get traffic from. You market yourself. You show yourself off. You know, you flexing. Versus a relationship. Like, which if you had to choose one.
So my business thrives on Instagram, but I built a really good customer base. And I'm taking a lot of people off of social media where if this is my husband and he says, Natalie, listen, you are consumed with Instagram and I need you off. First, I'm going to say, are you sure? Right? And I'm going to say this, well, why don't we outsource my social media page? And I won't be on it. I won't put me on it. Because there might be a reason why that he wants that. But I'm be honest with you, like I'm be honest with you, Jonathan. Like I don't feel like I'm gonna attract someone like that. I don't want to be with someone that says I can't be on Instagram. That's too controlling. So I don't want to be with that person. But as far as like me posting I don't post my life on Instagram. I post like what I need to post on social media. So my life, you will never see like a man's hand in my Instagram page. You will never see, like I post a lot of stuff like after the fact. And I post things I want social media to know, you know? So to answer your question, I don't know. Like, if I'm a mom, a new mom, and my husband's like, listen, Instagram is getting the best out of you right now. And I just need you, Natalie. And he's saying this out of love. I just need you to, like, unplug. I'll say, well, let's hire somebody to run my social media.
You just ain't giving that page up. Listen, I'm gonna take a step back. You just can't get this page up.
I just feel like that's my ministry. I feel like I save a lot of lives on Instagram. A lot of lives are impacted from my social media page.
You gotta choose these people, your man.
I want both. I want both. Like I feel like my family's first. Social media is not gonna overpower my family, but I don't feel like we have to choose. You
don't have to choose in real life, but I seen a post, right?
Okay, tell me about the post.
And all the girls said Instagram. Oh, Instagram. Instagram.
No, I don't feel like if there was a decision right now, I'm married.
Not even marriage.
What is it gonna mean?
A relationship.
What type of relationship? Are we engaged?
No.
No.
So.
No, a man that is in my life just dating me and he says get off of Instagram or I don't want to be with you. Like, what are you talking about? You know, like. Because I want to know what are you insecure? What is your, where is this coming from? You know, that would be a little bit of a red flag for me. Like, where do you get, why are you telling me to get off of social media? 9 times out of 10 you like me because you saw some of my social media. Right. You know? So, what's up? Tell me more about that. And then I would say, well, hey, both my hands are looking up there, you know? Left, you know? So, what's up?
So when I get on my knee, I'm like, all right, listen, can you complete it now? Because I'm dedicating my life to you now.
So I will say this. Wait, I will say this. Okay, we're out. So let's get the VA to outsource and let's make this our baby page. Let's make this page my baby page. It'll be me and my baby. I would love that. I feel like listen, I wouldn't mind doing that. Making my page my baby page.
Already a star. Already got thousands of followers.
Listen.
I'm scared to put my baby online.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
In the beginning, I don't want to open that door for people to know, like, my family, to know my inner life. Instagram is just for Instagram. It's just a show. And I hope that whoever I end up with is not insecure about me not showing them affection online.
I feel like that's your boundaries, and because your page isn't really about like your personal life though. Like you really, that's your only page, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I think it would kind of be like awkward
Awkward as hell.
seeing that.
Or even on my stories, like little subliminals, hand in the picture, or
You got to check what your intention is. I feel like anytime. So one point in my life, here's two things. If a man doesn't already post like that on his page,
right,
and he does not post you, or he's just like very like private about you, there might be something going on. But if a man has a business page and he rarely like does anything with you, I don't feel like there's nothing wrong. Because I had a situation where my ex-boyfriend had me on his page, and he had me on his page, and I didn't even know. Honestly, I wasn't into like checking his page like that. I didn't really care because we really had like a cool life, So I didn't need him to post me on his page to like validate our relationship. But come to find out, like everything came full circle. He cheated on me around that season where I was off his page. And I didn't know that he cheated on me until after we broke up. So now I put two and two together and it makes sense now. So I think that you have to watch, like, if you're dating a man that is about Instagram, I would pay attention to that, But if a man is just about his business, I don't feel like that validates y'all's relationship.
You say he cheated on you. What the Instagram got him? I'm confused.
During that season, it's a long, dumb story, like, because that's a non-negotiable for me, cheating. And during that season, I did not know he cheated on me. And when I found out after we broke up, I went back to the time where I was on his Instagram, and he removed me off of Instagram, which was very smart because the girl DM'd me around that time, but I didn't see it, So this is me finding out, like, after we broke up.
She was trying to come to you as a woman?
Yeah, but that's like coming to somebody as a woman, like... I mean, think about it. Like, if I'm dating, if I'm in a relationship and I find out that my man is doing whatever he's doing, and I find out who the woman is, I'm not coming to her as a woman. Like, we're done. Like, this is a great experience. I hope I prepared you for your wife, but you don't deserve my love. So I think it'll be best for you to explore other options and get therapy. Because I know that when I'm in a relationship, I'm a good woman. I know I'm a good woman. I don't deserve to be cheated on. So usually when someone cheats, it's something within themselves that made them want to cheat on you.
You say cheating is non-negotiable.
It's a non-negotiable for me. Like, we're dating. We're like we're not married. We're not even being married. I feel like I want my man to, like, if he thought about that, he don't want to break God's heart. That's what I want you to love me like God loves me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need that for my man. I want him to, like, develop that relationship with God and know that in a relationship with Natalie, like, God ordained that. And I want him to understand that he deserves to be loved. He deserves to be healed. He deserves to live in abundance. He deserves all that. So I want him to feel like that connection that we have is from God. And I want him to honor our relationship like I honor God and like he honors God. So that is what I desire in this season. I never desired that like that before.
Okay, so if you believe so much in God, and let's say a man does make the mistake, people make mistakes.
Married or not married?
Damn. Married.
Married is different. So married, we're gonna go to counseling. I don't want to project it on my marriage. I pray to God, please don't let my husband cheat on me, Lord, please. Okay, but like in a marriage, your goal is to honor God, right? If that time comes, I've seen marriages that a husband has cheated and he changed his life around. You know what I'm saying? They went to counseling. He totally did a 360. It's an action that he showed up. Single, in a relationship, if you cheat on me, we're done. Marriage, I will have to like really be in that space and like really like evaluate every aspect of it? Was it a one-off? I don't want my husband cheating on me at all. But when I look at marriages and I look at like what's going on in the world right now and just the temptations, like I think the Black family is being attacked right now. And I love family. Like I just know that when I have a family, I don't really feel like my husband he's not gonna want to risk our family. He gonna look at his baby like, I don't want to risk my baby. I don't want to risk my wife. But I do believe that the family dynamics is being attacked right now. And I feel like my living testimony and the sacrifice I'm making in life is gonna help restore love by me really like stepping into that space when that time is right. I believe that. And I believe that's what Women Who Boss. Women Who Boss is a safe place for women to build themselves and evolve spiritually, physically, financially, emotionally. I feel like a lot of healed women are going to come out of this next dimension I'm building. I believe we deserve to be healed in this season.
I'm about to get a therapist.
I want you to get a therapist. I mean, when you listen, there's some things I discovered about myself that it's like, wow. You know, like I didn't really realize I had this deeper level, like spirit.
Through therapy.
Therapy and God. So I definitely suggest like therapy and like getting yourself rooted in like a church home. Like even if it's like online, you know, like get fed, you know, like just feed your spirit man. That spirit man, when he's fed, you are like Superman. You know, it's not even about your work ethic. Your work ethic becomes like a different type of flow when the spirit leads inside of you. And I've seen men, like I've seen it in front of my eyes, when a man allows God to lead him, like how his life just 10x's. Like literally like supernatural things just happen. But therapy I love because it unlocks trauma from whether it's a mom, a dad, a sibling, something that happened like from trauma, maybe a bad decision. So I realized a lot of things about myself, even with money and business, and just, I really like Nathalie now. Like the Nathalie I was before, she was cool, but she's not like her now at all. And therapy helped me.
Is your therapist a man or a woman?
He's a man.
Wow. I thought I might need a man as a therapist, and then it's a lady that wants to be my therapist. And I was like, I don't know, maybe they won't be able to relate to me, but maybe I do need like that feminine energy.
I feel like a man with the right energy. Like my therapist doesn't play about like I literally went through this situation in my life where I couldn't talk to anybody, but I had to like really talk to my therapist. And the reason I talk to my therapist is because your friends and people that know you are going to sway you to what they believe is bias. So whatever I'm feeling, they're going to say I'm right. That's not fair. So talking to a therapist is like they'll let you rant on what you're thinking, then they'll come back with the right conversation to make you discover the right way to go. And I do believe a male therapist can be healthy too. A woman therapist could have been healthy for me, but from what I desire, like in my life, that therapist, I interviewed about like 3 of them, and it was really depending on how they were talking to. If you're a basher on men, or I don't want you. Like, you know, don't bash men.
So you interviewed them.
I did interview them.
This one like a first session. You were like, let me come.
I looked them up. I Googled them. I looked to see if are they like a clout chaser? Like, what are they on? Like, what are they on? I want to see what they have going on. And then also when they talk to me, like, what are you saying to me? Like, are you saying things to me because you feel like you're projecting what you want on my life? Or are you allowing me to tell you my real life and what I've gone through so I can be able to walk into my next dimension healed? And being a healed woman is one of the most powerful feelings to really like experience right now. It is, because I like, even with my situation, like with the whole cheating situation, like I didn't even like, I was like, oh, okay, you know, that's what it was. Everything happens for a reason. You know, I forgive you. Like in my mind, like I forgive that person, and I'm not walking in my next season with that type of trauma because I know I didn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh my God, why did it happen to me? No, like that was your dumb decision, you know? And I didn't deserve that, and everything happens for a reason. God literally navigated me in that space so I can be able to be in a healing space when I found that out. So I think when you talk to your therapist, whether it's you dating the right type of women, whether it's your business, I also was the type of person where like nothing was okay for me. Like when I opened up my first business, it wasn't okay. I always wanted more. Like nothing was enough. Nothing. So I also realized in a relationship, the expectation I had for a man was really high. You know, like I was like, that's not fair. Like when I got robbed, again, it is what it is. I'm not going to excuse him for whatever, but I honestly made him like my God. Like I made him like my protector when God's my protector. So I realized that I use like my trauma and I projected it on my man. I used to do that in the past. Like if I was going through stuff in life, instead of me talking to God, I'll go talk to my man first. Mm-hmm. So now I talk to God first.
What did you have to heal from?
A couple things. Like, so number one, the desire of like wanting to be successful. And then when I became really successful, like in my own right, not being happy. Like I was like beating myself up about like, why am I not happy? Like you're a millionaire, you have all this like material stuff. You don't even care about it. Like I was like, why don't you care about it? So I really had to deal with myself on that. And I had to really like ask God, like, what's up with me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want? And he revealed to me that, Nathalie, you didn't do that for me. You didn't do that for my people. You did that for flesh. And when I realized that you can still have nice things, but you had to stay grounded while you have those nice things, that's when I had to get a therapist to get to the bottom of that. You know? Mm-hmm. A second thing is, I used to think that money was going to solve problems. So it started with my problems. It started with a man, like let's say I want to buy hair from, India, and I have 10,000, but I need 20,000. You give me extra 10,000. Like I get the money and I wasn't enough. I want more, So it wasn't like Nathalie flipped the money, saved the money. I had financial trauma. I didn't understand how to save money, how to make money work for me. So that was something that therapists helped me understand, and just life helped me understand. The next thing that I had to get some healing on is really being a people pleaser. As confident as I was and I am now, like I always want people to be happy. Like it was just this thing with me where I like don't want you to be upset. And although I had this, I used to be real spicy though. Like real spicy, like real, like you say something, boom. I wouldn't even think about it. I was just sharp. And I worked on that part of myself. I have a different level of grace with my life right now. And the aura that I give off now is light and love. And I know that's really me for real now. Before it was not me. Very spicy person. And he delivered me from that. But as far as the people-pleasing spirit, I went from being spicy to be a people-pleaser. I'm like, where did this come from? So just really like, oh, you need your rent money? Like if I have an employee and they don't have their rent, I'll give them the rent money. If someone says like, hey, I need to use your place for whatever. Oh, you can use it. You don't got to pay. Oh, I need you to do this for me. I'm like, what the heck did I turn into?
I hate that about myself. I had to change myself.
Yeah.
I had to change that because I felt like people were using me.
That's real. So what did you do to change it?
I think that's why I need a therapist because I kind of shut everybody off. So
you went from an extreme.
Yeah, I don't even want to have a conversation because it might lead to you wanting and needing something from me. So when it came to family, friends, I'm just not there, like physically or like mentally for people. And I don't like that about myself. I just did it the wrong way. Like I don't pick up people's phone calls. Like my little cousin, he was going through like, he had a girl pregnant and then he was going through a miscarriage. I missed that whole thing. It's like I had no words of advice for him. And I've been giving him advice my whole life. I don't know. It was just too much pressure for me. Too many people wanted something, and I don't think I even tried to like put my shit on other people. It's like when you're a person that's giving, you never feel like people can help you, or like you want to be needy. It's like I want people to use me, but I can't rely on anybody else for like my issues.
So that's a great thing to identify. And one prayer that you'll pray to God is to increase your capacity, like increase your capacity, increase your bandwidth, and to give you discernment, because the enemy wants you to shut people off. The enemy wants you to isolate yourself. And when you're isolated, that's when attacks can come even quicker, because now you feel like everyone is evil or everyone wants something from you. And that's not true, right? Mm-hmm. People are going through life. Life is real. We went through one of the most devastating times in history, right? In this past few years. Listen, people were in the house thinking they're about to die. Okay? People made a lot of money. They lost a lot of money. So there's a lot of trauma that has nothing to do with you. And give yourself some grace too, because you were one of the people that survived. And you were one of the people that use, a troubled time to create something for yourself, So that's something that I realized, that everyone's not bad. Nathalie, you just attracted a different type of person because of how you showed up too. So now that you are resetting, there are going to be people that they're going to come in your life that are for Jonathan, that are assigned to you. And then your family are going to treat you differently because you're going to have boundaries. So my family, we have boundaries, like even if you work for me or work with me, like we have boundaries. Although, I do give my mom and dad money every single month. And, I have like some family members on payroll, but they do activity for that, So I don't feel like an obligation that I have to do this for you. And I love the word no now. I used to never say no. And not that I don't love you, but it's no. And why, Nathalie? It's just no. Like, I don't really have the capacity for this right now. And quite honestly, I worked really hard to get to this point. I will say this to my family. Like, I really worked really hard. And I just feel like the same way how I work, you can work. And there's something I can do to help you. If you can find a skill set that you really feel like you can add value to my life right now, let's do it. But just to give you $100 every week or $500 every week or to pay your bills, I'm not doing that. If it's my mom, I will honor my mom and my father. That's it. And my grandparents, of course. But outside of that, my sister works with me. I don't owe my sister anything.
Are you the first millionaire in your family?
I am the first millionaire in the family. And that was quite a shift. And my grandmother is tripping right now, though. Like, she's really scared and like she watched too much TV. Like, she's like, calling me the other day, like, Nathalie, I know you're hard on yourself. I don't want you to commit suicide. I'm like, wait. Like, she's like, a lot of women she's like, a lot of women right now are hard. She has some truth to her, though. Because I have my spirit man is built up, I don't feel like that, So I think my family always knew I was a hard worker, but I think I shocked them. They knew I was like special, but like me really going after my dreams. When I opened up my salon at 22 years old. So that was like a shocker. Then everything I keep doing is like shocking them. So now they just like pray for me, now. I'm the first millionaire in my family. And it's heavy because like my family doesn't come from money, like at all. My grandmother came here as an immigrant. My mom was an immigrant. Of course she's a citizen now, but I feel like there's a certain like responsibility on my life. And that's why I am very careful how I move. Like I'm not about to just fumble the ball right now.
Fumble the ball.
Not fumbling the ball.
No, I get that. I feel that.
Too much is given, much is required. And God gave us the bandwidth for this. So are you the first millionaire in your family? That's a blessing. So you literally are you're showing your other relatives that's possible. That's beautiful. Congratulations.
I think that, but I also think they look at me as a crutch sometimes. And that's why I took a step back. Like, y'all getting too comfortable with me being the go-to guy when it's any type of problem.
Right.
When it's financially, when it's like, when people need help, like dealing with like beefs between the family, I gotta be the person. Like it's a lot. So when you're saying that God give me more bandwidth, capacity,
He'll give it to you, give you strength. And I'll send you some prayers, like some prayers about strength though. You the Bible app? Definitely download the Bible app. It's like my go-to. When I went through my worst depression, like I just got a depression like 9 months ago. Probably like about 9-10 months ago. And it, when I went through it, like I literally had to depend on God for like direction and really have to feed my mind like every single day. And being a depressed millionaire is a different type of depression because money can't buy nothing. It's just temporary. Money can buy you a little good time here and there, but when you can get filled up, like rich in spirit, that's a different type of capacity that's built on your life. So it took me some time to get there, but now I have the capacity. I did not have the capacity. I used to get burnt out. Like people used to drain me. One conversation, I'm out, And now I just realized that just reading scriptures like Philippians, Romans, really like understanding that like you were built for this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you were built for this life. Like, nobody else was built for this life but you. And God gave you your specific assignment for you. And he's not gonna fail you. He's not gonna fail you. And he loves you so much where he said, you know what? You've been through enough crap in your life. You've been good. You've been obedient. Let me bless you. And he just blessed you at this level. But when you get that other, like those dimensions where you could show up for your family even out of love, you know, just out of love. Like just showing love. You know, like one of the things I'm gonna do I'm gonna fly home and do something cool for my grandma's birthday. She'll be 89. She'll be 90. She'll be 90. And I'm just gonna do something dope for my family members. Just like, not a family reunion, but just bring my family together and just enjoy life. And I think that's gonna be good enough. You know what I'm saying? So I just think I do special things as I can for my family. And that's where the capacity for them have changed. So they don't really ask me for nothing anymore, but they remember the dope experiences. I don't really give them just money anymore. I give them experiences. My dad's birthday is lit. My mom, I always do like nice stuff for my niece and nephew. And that's where I find the fulfillment at now.
That's dope.
Yeah, I figured it out after a while.
So do you ever go back to the motherland, your mom's country?
So I want to go to Trinidad. I heard it's really fun.
Wait, your mom is
Trinidadian American.
Okay.
So my mom is Trinidadian Guyanese. My dad's American, and I grew up in a Trinidadian Guyanese household from 10 till 17. Yep. So I went to college.
What do you think about the men over there?
Caribbean men. I guess they were known to be like cheaters and have a lot of women and stuff like that. I feel like the new age Caribbean men that are Americanized might be different, but I feel like the men in like different islands, there's some beautiful women over there. Like they're so pretty, you know. I feel like they let their flesh, you know, move for them. So I haven't really like, and it's so my grandmother, like I dated a Caribbean guy and she was like, he's wicked. I'm like, he's wicked. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, don't talk to him. I'm like, why? She's like, those type of guys. I'm like, trauma. I'm not doing this for her. And guess what? That was my first boyfriend. He was off the chain though. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back though. I want to do something. I want to open up a couple, you know, schools for young girls. Like that's one of my biggest dreams. Teach them aesthetics. Teach them like a trade. So my goal is to do that in Trinidad.
I can see why women will listen to you. You have, I don't know, the story, the way you speak, like you speak with so much, like you just want to give life to people. I can see why women want to listen to you. I'm also start a man's group, you know, based on accountability.
That's nice.
It's too many guys that listen to me for me not to like do it. I feel like a lot of men are missing like that male in their life, or just somebody that you could talk to, somebody that could hold you accountable for like working out.
That's good. Do you work out? That's good.
Enough.
You said enough or not enough?
Enough. Like I got to train. I work out with him maybe 3 times a week. Maybe
that's nice.
I might miss the whole week. Like this week I ain't go not one day. And then I might work out myself. I might play basketball. So I'm always gonna stay active. But I missed the whole week. I ain't go not one day.
Really?
I've just been depressed.
Give yourself grace and like, you know, give yourself grace and that's just 1 week out of 365 days out the year. Yeah. And it happens. But fill your cup up. That's all I'll say. I'm proud of you for what you're doing with your show. Just fill your cup up because you can't give people what you don't have inside. You're about to go on tour. You're about to do this, you know, class. Just take some time and just fill your cup up. You know, just find out like a few things that just make you happy without like people sometimes. If a certain person can create that like self-care experience with you, then no problem. But I will find like 3 things you just like thoroughly enjoy and just do it. You know, like you can afford to do it 3 days, just like back to back, 3-day fast, where you just like think nothing about positive, maybe not even shoot for 3 days. And just like, you know what? I'm just gonna fill my cup up.
You sound like either a wife or a therapist.
I think that a man's wife will be his therapist. I desire to have a safe place for my husband so he can talk to me and like, you know, tell me what's up. You know, like I don't want to have to talk to his homeboys all the time. He can talk to his homeboys if he wants. I don't really care about that. But I want him to feel good about like his woman. And I don't feel like I've ever done that for a man in the past. I don't feel like I've like made that environment for them. Because I had so much going on for myself. But I feel like men need that.
Mm-hmm. So you never, a man never cried on your shoulder?
A man has, like, cried, like, but really felt safe. Like, I don't want a man to look at me and feel like he's to compete against me. Like, I want us to be, like, accountability partners. You know, like, you doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. You're like, go, Nat, go. I can be vulnerable with you. Like, I need to be vulnerable with my man. And, like, I need to be able to cry with him, not judging me like, Natalie, you're this. No, like, I don't feel great today. You know? Like, this is how I feel. So I have created that space before, but it wasn't reciprocated, like, all the time. Like, so sometimes, like, that person will be that for me, and maybe I had too much going on. Then when I got robbed, I was no good for anybody. No good for no one. Like, I was no good for my boyfriend, for real. I was going through so much. Like, I was so scared of life. It was so sad. And he really tried to be there, but it was just like, it wasn't enough. Like, I needed God. Like, I just needed God. God was like everything for me. So now that I'm filled up, I feel like I have the capacity for my husband. I feel like he can talk to me about life, his business, things he's going through, being a father, like, you know. That's important. I feel like your man feeling safe with you keeps a healthy marriage.
Now you're gonna talk to him too, right? It's gonna be an equal.
Oh yeah, like I need, like, that's what friendship is for. Like, I need even in a friendship, I want to talk to you, like, what's going on? Like, I don't want you to judge me. Like, I want you to, like, I want to talk to you about what I have going on and hear your opinion. I feel like I don't like that whole, like, alpha woman thing. I don't like it. I don't feel like it's sexy. I don't feel like that is what God created us to be. I feel like God created us to be Proverbs 31 women. Women, like, if you look at the book Proverbs 31, that's who you want your wife to be. I'm going to send that to you. You want your wife to be a Proverbs 31 woman. She was strong. She was confident. She was feminine. She wasn't a soft girl. She wasn't soft life. She was a feminine woman that loved her husband, that, like, represented her husband. She was, like, that girl for real in the Bible, you know? And she's a great mom. Even though she had, like, servants and people in the household, she treated them with respect. And I feel like as I grew as a woman, I realized that foundation I want to build with my man. I want him to be so proud of me. Like, that's my wife, you know? So I feel like as a friend, you'll understand me as a woman when you see the different dynamics that I'm in, not just the Instagram Natalie. That's why I agree with you on some parts with the whole Instagram thing. Like, I don't want my man to judge me off of Instagram. Like, you know what's going on, bro. Like, not bro, I gotta work on that. But you know what it is. You know, like, I need you. Like, don't do that.
Most boss women give off alpha energy. With you, you definitely give off boss energy, but not alpha at all. It's more like, okay, I know I make money. I got the status, but you wouldn't let that get in the way of a relationship. That's what I get from you. Because a lot of women that I do talk to that have that position, they kind of like have this chip on their shoulder, like, I don't need a nigga. No,
I need my man. Like, I'm gonna need my husband. Like, for me to go to my next dimension, like, if the world see anything right here with my husband, I'm gonna be at a different level. Like, I'm excited about that whenever it's time, because when the family dynamics is built and you really have a foundation, I feel like a woman can blossom. I feel like a man can grow too. And I don't want to be alpha and I don't want to be soft. I want to be feminine. I desire to be feminine, submissive, strong, confident. You know, like, I don't desire whatever it is that social media wants at all. Like, I am working on the God in me and the woman that God desires me to be. Whatever I thought I knew, I don't know anymore. I'm unlearning that stuff. I don't even care to know it. I'm not allowing Instagram to dictate how I should show up as a woman. Like, God is literally downloading Natalie right now. And I really am enjoying it. It's kind of awkward sometimes and uncomfortable because it's like, oh, really? Okay. You know, do that, God? All right. Whatever, you know? And I just think that I want that for everybody. And it doesn't have to be spooky. When you listen to God, it doesn't have to be spooky. It can just be real. So me, like, when I have the desire, let me go bust a move and do this, like, I don't chase money anymore. Like, money literally comes to me, and I don't make the same money like I used to make. I make money, but I don't make my biggest week, I was making 6 figures a week. I don't make that anymore. And I'm okay with that. Like, how much money do you really need in life? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's a whole nother conversation that needs to be had. Like, okay, what are you going to do with the money? And are you really happy? So I desire happiness. I desire to build wealth. And I desire to be loved. Like, I desire to be in a healthy, happy relationship with my husband.
Can you be happy and poor?
So let's go biblical. No, this is the truth.
No, I want to listen.
Because I needed to know this. Because I almost self-sabotage my like success because I thought that money was the root to all evil. When I got robbed, I was off the chain. I was like, money is horrible. I was getting brainwashed, you know? I was seeing people on Instagram act weird and funny because of money and like faking. And I was like, I don't know about this anymore. First of all, the most richest men in the Bible richest men in the Bible talked about wealth, but they had a certain grace in how they carried themselves. The most influential man in the world was Jesus. Anytime anyone can say, come go with me, and look at his rags that he had on, but he was rich in spirit. He really had money for real. He can go anywhere and had access, you know? So when I realized that we're placed on earth, right? And we're spirit beings right now. We're living in a human experience. This right now, what we're doing right now is human. That's all it is. But us speaking to each other is a spirit being within us that's conversing right now. When I realized that what we're living in this world is heaven on earth, right? God desires for us to live heaven on earth. If we're living heaven on earth, does he desire for us to be poor or be begging for money or not feel like we're living in abundance or live in lack? No, he gave us skill sets. He gave us skill sets. He gave us the ability to think, to be able to move. So I don't feel like there's too many resources in the world to be poor. Like, unless you have like a handicap or something like that, like you shouldn't just be at home like depressed. And I had to kick myself out of that because I'm like, no, like, Natalie, you went through too many things in life. Get up. Go work. I don't care if you save money. Go get up. That's how I talk to myself. Like, I talk to myself like straight up, like, get up. You went through way too much in life to just throw in a towel. You're not gonna marry no rich man. No, you don't want to get saved. That's not what I want. But women that I was talking to at the time was like, you worked hard enough, just go get married. Like, no, like, I want to marry the man that's for me. I don't want to just settle because I'm tired. I don't want that. I'm not tired.
You don't look tired.
I'm not at all.
Look fresh.
Listen, 35 and fresh, and I feel good. And I think even at my age, people gotta own where they are. Like, own it.
Some women be scared to tell their age. Might be asking, I don't really tell my age on camera.
Well, it's okay. I'm 35.
When your birthday?
September 29th. Libra, baby. The best.
You compatible with Leos?
My dad's a Leo. August 14th. My dad's the greatest. I love him.
I'm the greatest, too.
When's your birthday?
July 30th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leos are dominant men.
Sure is.
And they want what they want. And when y'all be like, zero in on it. It's over. But no, my dad's great. I love him. Leo guys are good. Leo women are great too. I don't know. Like, I feel like all signs have their thing. Right. You know? I think it's really a person.
It's a person for real.
Yeah, I feel like when I researched about Libra, there's some things I just don't like about her. I changed about myself. I don't like that about some things that she was, I used to be. And I was like, oh, heck no. She was like flirtatious. She was charming. And I'm like, no. Like, I don't want to be like, no. I want to be a woman that beautiful inside and out. I want, when I speak, I want people to take me serious. Not because of like, my voice has always been like this. So for years, people were like, oh, you sound sexual. Like, I don't know how to sound any other way. This is how I really sound. So when I looked up a Libra lady, I was like, oh no, we're going to fix her a little bit. And that's what I did.
You took the flirtatious part out and...
I just took out like that mold of like, you are a Libra because of this. She's like chaos. A Libra woman wants to be balanced, right? Yeah. So when she comes to situations, she wants to fix everything. Like she hates chaos. She wants to just fix everything that goes on. And I'm not God. I don't want to fix everything.
Got you.
So I just like where I still feel like I'm a feminine woman. Like I'm very like soft in that space. But as far as like just like want things to be handed to me, no.
So what's next for Natalie?
There's so many great things happening. Like just really using my influence to impact the world. You know, my goal is to be one of the most impactful women in the world.
Most impactful.
I want to be the most impactful woman in the world. I want God to say, you know what, girl, you were doing your thing, okay? And you went through adversity and you got up. You're a great mom. You're a great wife. You're a great role model. Like, I want when young ladies are in school, elementary school, or young men, you know, like we used to look at Rosa Parks and, you know, Sojourner Truth and Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, they're going to have like Nathalie Nicole Smith, you know? And I just pray that when someone looks at my story, they just don't give up and they just keep on going. And so that's one thing. And then just being a dynamic woman, you know, just really following God and allowing him to lead me. I don't want money. I know I'm gonna be a billionaire. For fact, me and my man are gonna be a billionaire. Like we are. I feel that for us. I just know that it's gonna be supernatural, like the way God wants it to be. It's gonna be a situation where I'm gonna get deals and we're gonna get deals, family deals, all that stuff. I just know that for us. Yeah. So that's where I'm at in life. It's just like really just staying obedient and making sure that I'm following him and like hearing from him and like literally shutting out the noise right now. Sometimes it gets noisy for me.
Why you don't drink?
I did bottle service since I was 17 years old up until 27. So imagine, take a shot with me. I was that girl.
So you were drinking?
I drank before, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just like now, like I would have to be a social. It would have to be a social time for me to drink, like, and then like one of the like cute little drinks. But I'm not a drinker. I've seen some crazy things happen with people that are drunk, and kind of traumatizing a little bit because when I asked somebody, well, why did you do that? I was drunk. I don't like that.
That's a crazy answer.
I don't like that. I don't respect that. I don't like it. I don't respect it. So I don't want to be that girl. And I want to be sound. I want to understand what I'm doing. I don't want to say, oh, I was drunk. That's why I want to date with him. No, I don't want to do that. So, and I'm really fun though. So when I realized that I was so much fun without alcohol, I was like, well, dang, what was I with alcohol? You know, like, I don't feel like you should have to, have no personality because you don't drink.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of whack.
I don't drink either, right? I only drink wine because of the show, for real. But I realized, like, I'm a way better person when I'm sober. Like, I do all this content, I'm funny as hell. Like, I got all these characteristics sober. But if I was to use any type of substance to, like, I think one show I was nervous and I think I took, like, Adderall or something. I was like, I don't want to ever have to need a drug, need something to actually do something I love for real.
I used to take Adderall for 10 years.
10 years straight?
I was diagnosed with ADHD in 3rd grade. So when I got to college, I really had full-blown ADHD. I was on 30 milligrams, and it was really hard. It was a hard time for me. So the product that I'm on right now, people think I just do TLC for money. That company changed my life. There's a product called NRG, and it has 5-HTP in there, which has like green extract and like positive adaptogens that help your energy levels. So I just got on all natural things. Like I eat cleaner, and I don't need Adderall anymore. So I literally just take my products and just really watch. I watch what I consume in my body. You know, alcohol is very triggering. Drugs are very triggering. So you got to be careful what you put in your body. Yeah. Like healthy foods, greens. You want to make sure you put like greens and vegetables. And
So you don't struggle at all with ADHD?
I do struggle with that, with ADHD. And I did struggle. And I've had that a little bit under control. So let me give you an example that's very vulnerable for me to say. And I feel like that was one of the things that I used to be like embarrassed about a little bit, because although I get things done during the day, like I have to be organized. Like I'm not like a neat freak type of girl. Although I like my environment clean. I like clean environments. But for me, I don't want to ever go back on Adderall anymore. I don't like the way how I acted. I had like a different personality. I don't think I was the best person under Adderall. Like I was very like antisocial, and then some days I was like really lit. It was kind of weird, you know? So the other day I just got off track. I was traveling a lot, and I was just doing a lot of business, and I got off balance in like life. I was like sleeping in a hotel for like 2 weeks, like just working really hard recently. And I realized that the reason I work so hard is for freedom. So for me not to get into that space. So I wasn't taking my vitamins, and I wasn't taking my NRG. So I think it was Monday, I had a day where I felt I wasn't productive. And I was like, Natalie, you work so hard to like get out of this space. and you're healed from ADHD. So at that moment, I thought about getting on it like for a second. I was like, let me take that stuff I take, you know? So I got back on NRG and I've been having great days since then. Mm-hmm. I feel really good. And I just know me, I have to have a healthy lifestyle. My husband has to be like, he has to like desire like that type of lifestyle too, you know, because I don't want him to feel like he has to like do drugs to be focused.
I'm pretty healthy. I don't eat meat.
Oh, that's good.
I don't even drink water. I drink...
What do you mean? Like, wait.
I only drink water from fruits. They got to be straight from the fruit. I will drink sometimes.
So coconut water?
Yeah.
So why don't you drink water, though?
I don't trust it.
Okay, so you have that. So,
but our body really needs H3O, which comes from fruit. The H2O, it don't do nothing for us. It don't even hydrate us, honestly. You got to look it up.
I'm going to look it up. So H3O?
H3O. I drink coconut water, orange juice, and pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Smoothies.
Smoothies. That's it.
I don't eat any type of animal. I just started that. Like, I haven't ate chicken, beef, pork for a very long time, maybe 10 years, but like, I just gave up lamb and seafood.
How old are you?
33.
Okay. It's your Jesus year.
I know.
It's your Jesus year.
Best year of my life. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel it. Yeah.
That's dope. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, if you and your friend don't work out.
Listen, so I have a women's empowerment event coming up. There's going to be some great women there.
And?
You should come.
Okay.
There's some great women there. Some great candidates at my event.
Okay. What about you?
I had the women's empowerment event. So let me tell you this. Like, what I tell guys too, though, I'm going to say, even when you're dating women, though, like, pay attention to the things that they say out their mouth, too. Because I feel like a man deserves the very best. And he shouldn't have to, like, just take crumbs. You know, even with, like, if a man, okay, let me example. If I like a guy, right, and he says, I had a girlfriend, I just got a relationship, and I'm, like, figuring things out right now. I don't know if I'm ready for anything. I pay attention to that. Because he probably can't show it for me the way I desire for him to show it for me, right? So even dating, the reason I'm so honest now, and I tell people like what I have going on, like, hey, this I got going on, and I pray to God, you know, like, whatever relationship I get into next, it's the freaking last. Like, I pray. You know, I don't really feel like God wants me to be outside like that. Like, I don't really feel like that. So I know I really, like, in the heart of hearts, I feel like he said enough is enough. Like, my last relationship was supposed to be my last. But he didn't want that for me. And that was a hard pill for me to swallow, you know?
Not the pastor.
No. I was in a relationship. I moved to a whole nother state for, like, a relationship. I did. And I'd never done nothing like that.
You didn't feel crazy?
I felt crazy.
Especially when it ended.
No, when I ended, it felt like... I feel like he wasn't really ready for me. And we weren't, like, I feel it was vice versa. I feel like God did not say that is what we're supposed to do. Like, you know, and I should have paid attention to every aspect and all the signs. And again, when it was great, you know? But when it was bad, it wasn't good. So me breaking up with him was me loving myself. I've never broke up with a man in my life until that was my first time doing that. Usually I just like let it like dwindle off. You know, like dwindle, I'm a dwindle girl. Which is not good. Like, you know, like, oh, what are we doing? I don't know. We're doing nothing, you know? But back to what I was saying, it was like, in this space I'm in, I'm just like really like listening to God. And like, I want to show up as my best self in every relationship, friendship, and everything right now. And the guy that I'm friends with right now is like, we do probably need to have a conversation pretty soon. And when I say conversation, it'll be like, make it a temperature check. You know, like, Louis, like, you know what we doing? I feel like temperature checks are really healthy because now you're not going in a direction where the temperature is not on. Because somebody can wake up and say, I'm over it. So that's what I've been on, you know. What? And I think, and what I love about life, though, you don't know how life is going to go.
Never.
Ain't that beautiful?
Never.
It's like you just don't know how life is gonna go. And even like me, I didn't expect to even have that person as my friend. Like listen, one of my homegirls is really upset with me, right? She's not really upset, but when I was breaking up with my ex-boyfriend, I told her, like, girl, we're gonna be like doing our thing. We're gonna travel the world. And she thinks that because I like have a friend, no, like, I'm just in my own bag right now. I'm focusing on my business. Like I dropped a lot of balls in business, like over the past couple of years when I was depressed. And I'm just like fixing it right now. It feels good to fix it. Like I'm a firefighter. Like I feel like every day I wake up, I feel good. Like I don't have to go to my store. I don't live in Houston anymore. So my store operates without me.
Why you choose Miami?
So why did Miami choose me? So I don't believe my husband and I are gonna live in Miami. I don't feel like my husband's in Miami. Like I don't feel like that's what he's gonna want. I think we're gonna have another property there. That's what I do feel. Miami at that time, I was shooting a TV show for Lifetime while I was in a relationship. And that was a second home outside of Houston. So when I broke up with my boyfriend, I still had that place. So I went back to Miami. And Miami was really rehabilitating for me for that season. What I don't like about Miami is that there's two sides of Miami. One side where everyone is like rich, like they say they're rich or whatever. Like I live in a very predominantly like Sunny Isles, like Jewish, Armenian type of vibes over there. Russian, a lot of Russians. Then there's another side of Miami where they're pursuit of something. They're in pursuit of like a relationship, a pursuit of happiness. It's like a melting pot of people trying to figure it out. There's another side that's like further out, like Miramar, where they're like, they have a family, you know, like, so I love Florida for many, you know, aspects, but I feel like it's not a place where I feel motivated. I think it's beautiful, but I don't wake up like, I want to get some money. Like, you know, like I wake up like, this is nice. Like I really have to get myself out of Miami. Yeah, I made a drastic decision and got a place in LA. I shouldn't really have done it, to be honest with you. I should have thought about it a little bit, but I was just like, I need to be around the hustle again. Got to LA, I have a nice spot there, nice. So I'm doing some other business stuff out there now. My show's gonna be taped there, one of my locations. But Miami is not, I don't feel like that's my destination. I don't know where my destination is. It's like wherever God wants. And my destination is where my husband's at, you know? So that's where I would be. Like if my husband says, this is where we're gonna be at. And
Moving to Seattle.
I don't really feel he's gonna want me in Seattle.
You don't even know who he is.
Like so so I don't really, so I feel like my husband, we're gonna share a lot of the same desires. And we're gonna have a second property in Miami. I think we're gonna have a second property in Miami. I feel like that. But we're gonna be in a place where we can have a family that like can be healthy. The weather is like not so tricky, you know? I don't know. We're gonna see. To be continued.
I plan on living out the country. I plan on having a spot in Miami, LA, Atlanta, and
Atlanta's great.
then somewhere out the country. A few places out the country.
What countries?
I think definitely like Jamaica, Haiti, and maybe Africa. It's just all over.
I feel like the whole goal of being successful and creating freedom is doing what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
And creating your own terms. If you want to have 10 to 15 places and you want to invest in real estate, do it.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Like, I just created a business called And Then Luxury. And it will be like destinations that, like my vibe, that I'm going to do the full decor in different cities. I'm excited about it. It's like a new baby. But I'm not gonna. I got licensed as a realtor in Florida just to like get my own properties. So I'm gonna definitely do a Florida property, but I don't know where else right now.
You want to go get your real estate license?
I already did. I'm licensed. I don't talk about it. I'm not really gonna do everyday deals, but I'm gonna do my own deals, like investment properties.
How long did that take?
So it was like during my self-care journey. That's something I did for myself. I believe in wealth building, and I believe through wealth building, that's when you get freedom. You know, I feel like the everyday hustle, what I'm doing right now, I don't really feel like that's my assignment. I'm going to sell my store as franchises. So my store will be like a franchise model, and I'm going to sell that. So once we grow like in scale, I'm gonna sell my first one actually in Phipps Plaza. So I'm in the mall, Simon Mall, and they have like over 160 malls. So my goal is to sell my franchises to different franchise owners, and they can place it in the malls. I don't want to be in the everyday hustle of like that type of business.
I don't want to do nothing. After the age of like 36, all the money that I'm going to be making is just in my sleep. I don't want to have to even lift a finger for nothing. Just saying yes and no to shit.
I think residual income is important. That's why I love network marketing. And I love it. Like during my depression, I still made a lot of money. And I'm really grateful for that. And I feel like once everyone can't say what you're saying because they haven't experienced it. Because some people are going to work for the rest of their lives. But when you work hard, you deserve to have that type of goal. And say to yourself, hey, I don't want to work. I want to focus on my family. I want to focus on living. Why not? I don't really feel like we should have to work like that. I think you should have a purpose. And like clearly you should have purpose and big goals. But when you put things on auto, like flow, and you like really are able to like be a leader and project manage properly, you deserve that if that's what you want. I think everybody wants different things. So with one of my businesses, I want it to be franchised out. I'm still going to show up for my franchise meetings. My other goal with that is to be publicly traded, like Lululemon. I want my store to be like literally on the stock exchange. So I'm excited about that, and I know I'm going to do it.
Nathalie Nicole Smith.
Don't forget the Smith until I get married.
My last name, Dupaton.
That's a nice last name.
I know, right? Say it. Nathalie.
You're so funny.
I'm fucking with you. Damn, it's been 2 hours.
This is 2 hours?
Yeah, you can talk.
You can talk.
I ain't said nothing. I just been asking questions.
Listen, we was talking. We was having a conversation. It was healthy.
A healthy one.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with sex or
No.
freaky stuff or, yeah.
I like this was good.
What you thought it was going to be like?
Like this.
Really?
Exactly like this. I knew it. I prayed for the show, prayed for you, prayed for me. I knew the intention God was going to be in the atmosphere. I know people are going to be blessed from this show.
That was up.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having me.
Do you want to direct traffic anywhere? Or
Well, I'm on Nathalie Nicole Instagram, Nathale Nicole, and follow me. Everything's in the link in my bio. And right now in this season, I'm showing women how to evolve spiritually, financially, and mentally, and I'm excited about it. So tap in.
God bless you.
Thank you.
And I'll be checking out your store when I get to Houston. Go give me a little IV.
Yeah, let's do
I
it.
don't know how that's going to turn out, but
We're going to get you all the products. What's your skincare regimen?
I just use soap.
I'm going to send you some products.
I'll be using natural soap, like stuff with turmeric and...
We have herbal soap, too. You're going to love it.
As long as there's no chemicals in it, I'll try it.
I love that for you. I love that. You're going to have a health show on your platform.
I actually am, yeah, for sure. But, I got to make the other shit cool first.
Yeah.
And then, now that I got their attention.
Smart marketing plan.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, until next time, y'all.